Good morning. Today I'm going to go ahead and be showing you about our Bravos XL washing machine made by Maytag. This washing machine is also along with the Whirlpool washing machine. I think the Frigidaire washing machine as well. But the Bravos XL with this clear glass on top, we're having a problem with it. I think our bearings are bad at the bottom because it makes like a roaring sound and it leaks a little water whenever we use it. So I've been looking up on YouTube and on Google trying to find out what's wrong, and I think I know how to do the bearing replacement, and I'm just going to go into it kind of head first. I have looked on YouTube once again. I have looked on Google, so I kind of got an idea after being able to work on these with my dad in the past. I got an idea, a general idea on how to fix it. So first thing first, you're going to want to unplug the power source from the wall. You're going to want to unplug the plug from the wall. You have the hot and cold hose hooked up on the back of the washing machine. You're going to want to remove those. You are going to need a towel for this water that's going to drip on this floor. You're going to have to get a towel on the floor because it's going to be a little bit of drippage. Make sure you remove the hot and the cold water hose from the back of the washer. Now I got them kind of hand tightened because I did remove them before. You're going to want that towel down there to catch this water. Now the thing that's a little different to me on this washing machine, on most washing machines, when you get ready to pop the lid to get to the drum on the bottom, because the bearings are beneath the drum on this washing machine. On most washers, you push in on two tabs right underneath the lid right here on both sides. That's not the case for this particular washing machine. On the back of this washer, you have 2 1/4-inch bolts on the top and bottom of this hinge right here that's holding it to the washer. You only remove the upper bolt on both sides. I'm going to get both of these removed. Okay, once you get both of these removed, what you're going to do, then you're going to slide the whole entire hood forward. It slides forward instead of pops up like the other one. It slides forward, and once it slides forward, it lifts up. Just like that. So that's basically the only thing I noticed so far that's a little different from the older washers I worked on in the past. And on the inside, what's a little different is most washers, the old style washers, they have an agitator in the middle. This one right here, of course, you know, if you already bought this washer, you know it doesn't have that big agitator. But you remove this plastic clip in the middle from it, which reveals the access to your 11mm bolt that's down there. I get my ratchet on it and loosen this up. Once again, it may look a little easy with how I'm doing it because I have already removed it previously. But it's gonna, if it takes a little persuasion, just kind of be careful not to strip the bolt out, strip the head out of anything. You might have to hold this agitator right here and turn it, or put your ratchet on it and kind of turn it kind of swiftly. Turn it quick and hard. Once again, try to do it without stripping it out. I wouldn't advise using the impact on it. I don't think it's that serious. But yeah, once I get that out, then I'm able to kind of wiggle back and forth motion, pull up, and pull this agitator out. Alright, get this out the way. You have one hose on this side right over here. Just a little clamp. The channel lock pliers. Remove this clamp. So you got the clamps. Once you press the clamp, sorry. Let me go back and show you that. The clamp is right here. Once you squeeze it with the pliers right here, you just push it back. Just push it back while you're still squeezing it. And once it's back far enough, just slide the hose back. Now, if this is your first time removing this, I have already done it previously, so it's a little easier. Yeah, it's a little easier. But if it's your first time doing it, I wouldn't advise just loosen the clamp back and then try to just wiggle it. You have to shake it back and forth like a little rocking motion. Rock it back and forth. And then once you do that for a little while, then slide it back. And it comes right off. Because if you just come at it and just try to pull it off, you could break this right here. It's going to cost you a little bit more money to get some more parts. Alright, now to the next part. You're going to have 6 Phillips head screws. And I'm trying to get down to the bearings. Because like I said, the washing machine is making a roaring sound. And it leaks water. So I think it's going to be my bearing. You have 6 Phillips head screws right here that you have to remove. Just as you had to with the nuts and the bolts. Be very considerate not to strip anything out. I would advise getting a very good Phillips head screwdriver. To all you who know about your tools very well, or even if you don't know about your tools, get a number 2 Phillips head. I use that for most of my things I'm working on, number 2 Phillips head. And they may not know what you're talking about at the store, but you can see it on the pack for the screwdriver. A number 2 Phillips head. It's just a little, it's not too sharp on the tip of it. It's just like kind of flat, and it's not real sharp at the end. Real fine. It's just right for these screws I'm loosening right now. You have to be real careful when you're backing these screws out, because once you back them out, you get almost to the end, get your hand down there around it, because if it fall down here in these holes, it's lost. You have to do a little bit more work once again to try to get these screws. Okay, yeah, I got one more screw to get out of there now. All right. Now that I have all 6 of those screws out, I should be able to remove this hub right here. Wow. Okay. It doesn't look damaged or anything right here. Still has grease in there. Let's see what's going on down here. And this is the spline right here that goes to the motor at the bottom of the washer. Okay. None of the teeth or anything on there seem to be broken. All this grease in here. And it's important that it has all this grease in here. The reason it has this grease in here to keep everything lubricated. So it's turning freely and everything's working very smoothly. Still has a good little bit of grease in there. I mean, we bought this washer set brand new. But now we're down to the bearings. I see the bearings right there, I believe. I see the bearings. And I'm going to attempt to lift this tub on this washer. So let me see if I can do that just yet. Okay. Now it appears to be some snaps around this covering right here that goes over the tub itself. And this is where on top where you pouring the washing powder in, and the bleach in, and the fabric softener in, it goes into these compartments, which all go into the bottom of the tub and get washed in at certain times in the washing cycle. But right now I'm gonna these clips right here. I don't know if you can see them. It's a little plastic clip right here. All I'm gonna simply do is pry over it and remove the clip, which is gonna reveal the tub itself. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 clips. Okay, 10. 10 clips I noticed. And I have access to the tub after removing those 10, popping those 10 clips loose. Once again, it's just a simple lift, just a simple pry and lift, and it came out very smoothly. And now I'm going to attempt to lift this tub once again. And I think it's going to take a little persuasion because it's been on there from the manufacturer, so I'm going to have to do a little persuasion to get it out. Since we got all this taken care of, we're going to go ahead and let this lid back down. And we're going to tilt the washing machine back. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is I got a 1/4 inch, I believe it's a 1/4 inch Allen head wrench. Yeah, a 1/4 inch Allen head wrench. I'm going to go ahead and loosen this motor underneath the washer. If at first when you're loosening and it's a little problem to turn it, it ain't turn it a little bit to the right to tighten it just a little snag. And if you get a little bit of play out of it when you turn it to the right, go ahead again and turn it back to the left to loosen it. Just a little trick my dad taught me. This removed, bottom plate. Next thing next, get this motor got down, but I have to take out these bolts first. They feel like they're 10 millimeter. Let me see what I can. that's a 10mm or 3/8. Got 4 of those bolts up out of here. I just do this to keep up with my nuts and bolts. I stick them back in wherever I got out of. But yeah. Then I can come on. Well, that's one way to do it. But just gently kind of pull down on this right here in the motor. I'm just going to set it aside. I'm not going to worry about removing the wire harness or anything. But now I have access to this seal right here that I'm trying to get to. But now I got this nut right here in the way that I have to remove. Attempt to turn this nut right here with my channel locks. This is that nut that caused me so much problem. Finally got it out. The problem is I had to hold this right here, this spline right here for the motor, and I had to turn the nut at the same time. But the gasket right here and this bearing, that's what I'm trying to get to in the first place. Alright, basically at this point right here, what I need to be doing is beating this shaft out. Not beating, but hammering it out so it'll go up. So I'm going to get my hammer. Tapping it up. Alright, now this took a little while right here. I had to beat on it for a good little while. But now that I hit this shaft right here, the agitator is now loose. I got it loose. I just bag it all the way out. And I'm going to pull it out from the top of the washer. When I pull this agitator out from the top, I'll show you how we're going to replace the seal in it. I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, just one thing real quick that I noticed. These bolts right here that hold the lid on for the bottom, we need to go ahead and remove those in order to go ahead and get the middle spline pulled, the motor spline pulled out. Because we were bumping it out from the bottom. In order to get it to come all the way out, we're going to have to take this lid all the way out, because what we noticed was the tub was coming up with it, and it was hidden. All it was doing was hitting the lid. So in order to prevent that problem on this particular model, we're going to have to remove the lid entirely. This took a lot of persuasion. I wish we could have showed that on video. But while we were beating it, we noticed that we had to pull the drum out at the same time. And my wife, she was holding the lid for me. Thank you. Thank you so much, baby. But she was holding the lid for me, and she doesn't have all that pressure on her right now. I got actually a brick sitting on the floor, so she won't have to hold that much weight. But yeah, we had to pick the whole inside tub out. We got it out, and now what we're gonna do is we got a long rod right here, and we're gonna beat this bearing out. Okay, guys, now I got the kit to go ahead and put the new bearings in. Now the kit, it comes with a new shaft for the washing machine. Has the grease and the adhesive for the seal, the new seal, the nut for the bottom of the shaft, and the washer, and also a sleeve. All this new. This is the old stuff right here. These are the old parts on this side right here. And as you can see, the water, what happened to the washing machine before was the seal allowed water to get past it. It allowed water to get past it. This seal right here had failed. Allowed water and grease and gunk and everything to get past it. And it rusted out the bearings. And when it rusted out the bearings, the washing machine actually sounded like a jet airplane. And that wasn't cool at all. You can hear our washing machine all the way about miles away, so we're gonna get that fixed up tonight. But yeah, right now I'm gonna put the new bearing in for the top of the washing machine, and it's gonna be this bigger bearing right here. Let's see, I'm gonna get it right here. Like it's gonna go straight down. I just want it to be extra clean. I don't want to have to go back in this again. Yeah, but just give it a couple of light taps and knock it on down. doing the lower bearing. And then give it a couple of light taps. We have the upper and lower bearing installed. Now we're going to install the shaft. Should just
to you.
have the drum installed. Now it's time to get busy installing everything else.